As a doctor who has spent years caring for older adults, I want to begin with a truth that is both simple and empowering. Food is not just fuel. Food is therapy. After the age of 65, your arteries are less forgiving, your brain is more sensitive to inflammation, and your digestive system does not extract nutrients as efficiently as it once did. That combination quietly raises stroke risk, even in people who take their medications and try to live well. You may think stroke prevention is only about blood pressure pills, avoiding tobacco, or exercising. Those matter. But what you place on your plate 3 times a day either calms your blood vessels or irritates them, either steadies your heart rhythm or destabilizes it, either protects your brain or leaves it vulnerable. The good news is powerful. A stroke smart plate does not require exotic powders or harsh restrictions. It is built from everyday foods that deliver a handful of protective nutrients in the right balance. Research shows that seniors who consistently eat this way can lower stroke risk by roughly 1/3 to 1/2 over time. That is not a small edge. That is a second chance written into your daily routine. In this video, I will walk you through 8 proven nutrients that help prevent stroke after 65. You will learn what each nutrient does inside the body, which familiar foods provide it, simple meal ideas you can make today, and a few common mistakes to avoid. This is not about fear. It is about confidence and clarity. Stroke prevention is not one dramatic decision made once a year. It is a series of small choices repeated with care each day. Before we dive in, if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Now let us begin with a nutrient your brain and heart absolutely love. The omega-3 fatty acids, Part 1. Omega-3 fatty acids. The artery soother and clot tamer. Think of omega-3 fatty acids as the oil that keeps your brain circuitry smooth and your arteries flexible. Your body does not manufacture these fats, so they must arrive on your plate. For stroke prevention, 3 features make omega-3s special. First, they calm inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation irritates blood vessel linings, encourages plaque, and makes arteries brittle. Omega-3s, especially the forms called EPA and DHA, cool, that fire and help vessels stay supple. Second, they reduce clot formation by making platelets less sticky. Since most strokes are ischemic, meaning a clot blocks blood flow to the brain, a little less stickiness can save a lifetime of independence. Third, they help stabilize heart rhythm and lower triglycerides, protecting against irregular beats like atrial fibrillation that raise stroke risk. These are not abstract benefits. Large population studies consistently show that older adults with higher omega-3 intake have meaningfully lower stroke rates than those who rarely consume them. So where do you find them? The richest natural sources are fatty fish. Aim for 2 modest palm-sized servings per week of wild salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, or lake trout. If you prefer plants, choose chia seeds, ground flaxseed, walnuts, and hemp seeds. These provide ALA, a precursor your body converts into EPA and DHA. With age, that conversion becomes less efficient, especially for men. So vegetarians may consider an algae-based DHA supplement after discussing it with their clinician. Try this simple bowl that takes 5 minutes and tastes like care. Stir 2 tablespoons of chia seeds into plain Greek yogurt or unsweetened oat milk. Add a handful of blueberries and raspberries. Finish with a sprinkle of crushed walnuts and a breath of cinnamon. Allow the chia to swell for a few minutes. You have just served your brain omega-3s, fiber, and antioxidants in one peaceful dish. Common pitfalls are easy to dodge. Deep frying fish erases vascular benefits. And heavily processed foods fortified with omega-3s often use low-quality oils. If you take blood thinners or high-dose aspirin, ask your clinician about fish oil dosing and purity testing for heavy metals before you start a capsule. The takeaway is clear. Make space for omega-3s each week, and your arteries, your heart rhythm, your joints, and your mood will thank you. If this surprised you, wait until you hear how a humble nutrient you already know by name quietly scrubs bad cholesterol, steadies blood sugar, and feeds the gut microbes that calm inflammation. Let us talk about soluble fiber. Part 2. Soluble fiber. The cholesterol sponge and blood sugar stabilizer. You have heard that fiber supports regularity, which is true. But soluble fiber does far more. It dissolves in water to form a gentle gel that lines your digestive tract, binds excess LDL cholesterol, steadies after-meal blood sugar, and nourishes the gut bacteria that produce anti-inflammatory compounds. Each of those actions pushes stroke risk down. When LDL cholesterol oxidizes and sticks to artery walls, plaques form and blood flow narrows. Soluble fiber traps cholesterol within the gut and escorts it out of the body before it can settle into vessel walls. Stable blood sugar matters as much as any pill. Sharp spikes stiffen and inflame blood vessels and pave the road toward type 2 diabetes, a major stroke driver. Soluble fiber slows the entry of sugars into the bloodstream, turning peaks into gentle hills. Then there is your gut microbiome. The good bacteria in your colon feast on fiber and release short-chain fatty acids that lower inflammation, support immune balance, and may even influence blood pressure regulation. Where do you find this quiet protector? Start with oats, barley, apples with the peel, pears, carrots, sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, flaxseed, and chia. An easy breakfast is apple cinnamon oatmeal. Simmer rolled oats in water or milk. Stir in a chopped apple and a spoon of ground flaxseed. Then top with a few crushed walnuts. You have fiber, omega-3 precursors, and protective polyphenols in one warm bowl. How much do you need? For women over 50, the target is roughly low 20s grams per day. For men over 50, roughly high 20s to about 30 grams. Most seniors get barely half. Close the gap with simple swaps. Choose whole grain bread over white. Add beans to soups and salads. And aim to include a fruit or vegetable at every meal, not just at dinner. Increase gradually and drink water, because fiber needs fluid to do its work comfortably. If you have a sensitive gut, build in slowly and consult your clinician. If you have a history of bowel surgery or active inflammatory conditions, one large analysis found that adding just a few extra grams of fiber daily correlated with a noticeable stroke risk reduction. Fiber asks for patience, not perfection. Give it a little room in each meal, and it will quietly do the heavy work. If fiber is the sponge, the next nutrients are the pressure valves that protect your arteries from the silent killer. Let us turn to magnesium and potassium. Part 3. Magnesium and potassium, the blood pressure balancers and rhythm keepers. High blood pressure is called the silent killer. because you may feel perfectly fine while it quietly scars vessel linings and sets the stage for stroke. Magnesium and potassium act like an internal pair of peacekeepers. Together, they help relax blood vessel walls, smooth electrical signaling in the heart, offset the harm of excess sodium, and support healthy kidney function. Magnesium participates in hundreds of biochemical reactions, many tied directly to vascular tone and glucose control. When intake is low, arteries constrict more easily, blood pressure rides higher, and irritability in the heart's electrical system can creep in. Adequate magnesium supports calm vessels, steadier blood sugar, and a lower tendency toward unwanted clotting. Potassium complements that role by helping kidneys excrete extra sodium, easing fluid retention and lowering pressure within the arterial tree. Diets that are high in sodium and low in potassium are common in processed food patterns and are strongly linked to stroke in older adults. The fix lives in whole foods. For magnesium, reach for leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, legumes such as black beans and lentils, nuts and seeds including pumpkin seeds and almonds, intact whole grains like brown rice and quinoa, and avocados. For potassium, choose bananas, oranges, beets, tomatoes, potatoes with the skin, sweet potatoes, beans, and dried apricots. Build a comfort bowl that loves your vessels. Mash a baked sweet potato. Fold in a dash of cinnamon. Spoon on a few black beans. And finish with chopped almonds and a squeeze of lime. You have created a dish rich in both minerals, gentle on digestion, and deeply satisfying. Do you need supplements? Many seniors can meet needs with food, which brings fiber, antioxidants, and balance that pills cannot copy. If you have kidney disease or take certain blood pressure medicines, do not start potassium or magnesium supplements without medical guidance, because too much can be unsafe. The clinical payoff is real. Increasing potassium-rich foods can shave points off top blood pressure numbers, which translates into meaningful reductions in stroke risk. Keeping magnesium intake robust is associated with lower odds of ischemic stroke in older adults. Ask yourself at each meal whether your plate is supporting these minerals or stealing them. Salted, processed meats and packaged snacks steal. Beans, greens, tubers, and nut support. Up next, we will paint your plate with the colors that keep arteries youthful and calm. Let us explore antioxidants. Part 4. Antioxidants. The vascular bodyguards that fight oxidative stress. Every breath you take and every meal you eat produces a small number of unstable molecules called free radicals. In youth, your natural defense systems neutralize them easily. With age, those defenses soften. Free radicals then nick the lining of arteries, oxidize LDL cholesterol, stiffen vessel walls, and spark the inflammation that feeds plaque. Antioxidants are nature's counterforce. They quench free radicals, protect endothelial cells, reduce inflammation, and preserve the elasticity that keeps blood flowing freely to the brain. Older adults benefit greatly from steady, daily intake rather than sporadic megadoses. Where do you find them? In color. Blue and purple berries deliver anthocyanins that support microvascular health and brain perfusion. Deep green leafy vegetables provide a wide spectrum of protective compounds. Beets bring betalains that support nitric oxide pathways in circulation. Citrus fruits supply vitamin C to reinforce collagen in capillary walls. Tomatoes and watermelon bring lycopene, While red cabbage and peppers add quercetin and vitamin C, green tea provides catechins that improve vessel function. And a square of dark chocolate with high cocoa content contributes flavonols that aid blood flow to the brain. Build small rituals that feel like a gift. In the afternoon, brew green tea and enjoy it with a few fresh berries and one small square of dark chocolate. You have just supported circulation, tamed oxidative stress, and earned a calm moment. What about supplements? In general, whole foods are safer and more effective than isolated antioxidant pills. The symphony of compounds in real foods works together in ways single ingredients cannot. High-dose vitamin E can increase bleeding risk in people on anticoagulants, and concentrated extracts may interact with medicines. Let your colors come from the market rather than a megadose bottle. The rule is simple. When you ask yourself where the color is on your plate, your blood vessels are already smiling. Now we will turn to an unsung vitamin that directs where calcium goes. It can keep bones strong while helping arteries stay clear. Meet vitamin K2. Part 5. Vitamin K2. The calcium traffic controller that keeps arteries clear. Many seniors are told to take calcium for bone health. That advice is incomplete without guidance on where that calcium should go. Vitamin K2 is the quiet director that tells calcium to settle into bones and teeth and to stay out of soft tissues like artery walls. It activates proteins that inhibit arterial calcification and support bone mineralization. Without adequate K2, calcium can drift into vessel walls, contributing to stiffness, elevated pressure, and ischemic events. With K2 on board, calcium helps you stand tall without clogging your circulation. Intake of K2 has been linked with lower cardiovascular events in large population studies, and the biology is persuasive. Where do you find it? Unlike vitamin K1, abundant in leafy greens, K2 concentrates in certain animal and fermented foods. Natto, a traditional fermented soybean dish, is the richest source. Aged cheeses like Gouda and Edam, pasture-raised egg yolks, liver, and some fermented dairy provide meaningful amounts. If natto is unfamiliar, a practical approach is to enjoy eggs from pasture-raised hens a few times a week. Choose a small serving of aged cheese now and then, and include fermented foods in your routine. Try a simple breakfast of soft scrambled eggs with sautéed spinach and mushrooms, finished with a dusting of grated aged cheese and a slice of whole grain toast. You have delivered K2 alongside fiber, magnesium, and phytonutrients. Should you consider a supplement? Seniors who take calcium and vitamin D may benefit from adding a K2 supplement in the MK7 form, which stays active longer in the body. However, if you take warfarin or other vitamin K-sensitive anticoagulants, speak with your clinician before changing intake because dosing may need adjustment. The principle is elegant: strengthen bones while keeping arteries supple. K2 helps you do both. Next, we will discuss a vitamin that supports nerve integrity, oxygen delivery, and a blood marker tightly tied to stroke risk: homocysteine. Let us focus on vitamin B12. Part 6. Vitamin B12, the nerve protector and homocysteine tamer. Vitamin B12 does quiet work with enormous consequences. It helps build healthy red blood cells that carry oxygen to your brain, maintains the insulating myelin sheath that protects nerves, and partners with other B vitamins to keep homocysteine in check. Elevated homocysteine injures blood vessels and is strongly linked to stroke and heart disease. After 60, B12 deficiency becomes common because stomach acid production declines and many widely used medicines, such as metformin for diabetes and acid suppressors for reflux, impair absorption. Even seniors who eat meat and eggs may fall short at the cellular level. Early symptoms are subtle and easily mistaken for aging. Fatigue, numbness or tingling in hands and feet, unsteady walking, poor concentration, low mood, or pale skin can all point toward deficiency, left unchecked. Low B12 can mimic dementia or worsen recovery after a mini stroke. The stroke connection is twofold. By lowering homocysteine, adequate B12 reduces a well-documented vascular risk. In addition, healthy red blood cells and intact nerve insulation support brain perfusion and function. Meta-analyses suggest that homocysteine lowering with B vitamins, including B12, offers a meaningful reduction in stroke risk, particularly in older adults. Food sources are straightforward. Beef liver is exceptionally rich. More approachable choices include eggs, milk, yogurt, cheese, salmon, tuna, sardines, poultry, and lean meats. A morning plate of scrambled eggs with spinach and a side of Greek yogurt delivers B12 along with iron, protein, and supportive minerals. If you follow a vegetarian or vegan pattern, or if absorption is impaired, sublingual tablets or periodic injections may be needed since they bypass the stomach. Testing is simple. A blood level above the lower end of the laboratory range is not always enough for brain comfort. So discuss optimal targets with your clinician. For many seniors, a modest daily supplement provides a safe cushion. The message is hopeful. If you feel unusually tired or off balance, it may not be inevitable aging. It could be a fixable deficiency. Now, let us reinforce the vessel wall itself with a vitamin, best known for immunity, but equally important for vascular repair. We are talking about vitamin C. Part 7. Vitamin C, the vessel repairer and recovery helper. Vitamin C is water-soluble, widely available, and deeply relevant to stroke prevention. It serves as a frontline antioxidant in the bloodstream, protecting the delicate endothelial lining from oxidative harm. It is also essential for collagen synthesis, the structural protein that keeps arteries and capillaries resilient rather than fragile. When vitamin C status is low, vessels stiffen, microtears form more easily, and blood pressure tends to run higher. Observational studies in older adults consistently link higher vitamin C intake and blood levels with lower stroke risk and better recovery when events do occur. Vitamin C also enhances iron absorption from plant foods, a practical benefit for seniors who struggle with anemia. Rather than reach for a pill first, color your plate. Bell peppers, especially the red and yellow varieties, pack more vitamin C than most fruits. Kiwis, oranges, strawberries, papaya, mango, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and tomatoes all contribute generously. Build a refreshing fruit and veggie plate in the afternoon. Slice a kiwi, an orange, and a few strawberries, and pair them with crisp red pepper strips and hummus. You have created a snack that supports immunity, vessel integrity, and stable energy. Supplementation can be helpful in targeted situations, such as low appetite, smoking exposure, recent surgery, or recovery from illness when tissue repair demands are higher. Modest daily doses are generally well tolerated. Megadoses can upset the stomach or increase kidney stone risk in susceptible individuals, so stay moderate unless under guidance. Vitamin C is a reminder that prevention often lives in the produce aisle. With the wall repaired, we now add the elegant plant compounds that tune blood flow, relax vessels, and gently reduce clotting tendency without the risks of harsh thinning. Let us finish with flavonoids. Part 8. Flavonoids. The circulation enhancers hiding in everyday foods. Flavonoids are a broad family of plant compounds that deliver multiple vascular benefits at once. They act as antioxidants to reduce oxidative stress, as anti-inflammatory agents to quiet the immune friction inside vessel walls, as endothelial enhancers to improve nitric oxide signaling and vasodilation, and as platelet managers to reduce excessive stickiness. In plain language, they help blood move smoothly, reduce the chance of clots forming, and keep the tiny vessels that feed your memory centers responsive. For seniors, this matters daily. High flavonoid diets have been associated with lower ischemic stroke risk and better cognitive aging in large cohorts of women. The beauty is in their ubiquity. You will find flavonoids in blueberries, blackberries, cherries, and grapes, in apples and pears with the skin intact, in red onions and red cabbage, in kale and parsley, in citrus fruits, including the white membranes, in green and black tea, and in dark chocolate with high cocoa content. Build simple habits you look forward to. Start the morning with green tea and a slice of lemon. Assemble a salad that includes red cabbage and a handful of blueberries. Or close the day with a square of dark chocolate and chamomile tea. Supplements exist, but whole foods offer a symphony of related compounds that work together for a smoother effect and are less likely to interact with medicines. If you are on anticoagulants or blood pressure drugs, discuss concentrated extracts with your clinician before experimenting. Flavonoids also encourage you to eat the rainbow. The more colors you welcome, the wider the spectrum of protective compounds you consume. With all 8 nutrients now in your toolkit, the next step is turning knowledge into a rhythm you can live with. Here is how to weave these protectors into your day with ease. Doctor's final words. Here is the simple, repeatable pattern I teach my patients. In the morning, choose a smoothie or a bowl that works for your brain. Blend rolled oats, chia seeds, spinach, blueberries, and unsweetened almond or dairy milk. Or stir chia into yogurt and top with berries and walnuts. Sip warm green tea. By breakfast, you have welcomed omega-3s, soluble fiber, magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, and flavonoids. At midday, build a big salad of mixed greens, chickpeas, grated carrots, red cabbage, and cherry tomatoes. Add sliced apple with the peel. Dress with olive oil and lemon. And place a hard-boiled egg on the side for vitamin B12 and satisfying protein. In the afternoon, enjoy a small square of dark chocolate with a few fresh berries. For dinner, center the plate on vegetables like broccoli, beets, or Brussels sprouts. Add a serving of fatty fish or a hearty lentil stew. Include a baked sweet potato or quinoa. And, if appropriate for you, a small piece of aged cheese to nudge vitamin K2. Before bed, choose chamomile or rooibos tea, and, if your clinician recommends it, consider a modest B12 supplement if your diet or absorption is limited. That is a stroke-smart day made of normal foods, not fear. Let me leave you with this. Your body still remembers how to heal. Your arteries can become more flexible. Your blood pressure can ease. Your brain can receive steadier blood flow. You do not need a perfect week or a perfect month. You need today's plate and then tomorrow's plate and then the next one. Share this video with someone you love who is over 60 because a single routine change can save a life. Now, I would love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you have learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let us support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1. If not, comment 0. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another health tip made just for you.